ModRetro is doing the thing and releasing 2 Game Boy games on cartridge. 8-bit joystick. When was the last time that you unboxed a brand new Game Boy and Game Boy Color game? Well, ModRetro has you covered. Now, on to the games. Project S-11 is a re-release of a pretty intense shooting bullet hell game for Game Boy Color. It was originally released in 2001 for Game Boy Color. As a vertical scrolling shooter, it feels like a Western developed game. The on-screen graphics give it almost a 3x4 orientation. That's right, Tate mode. It definitely takes inspiration from Truxton and other great Tate mode games. So your ship can actually take multiple hits and has super bombs which will clear the screen. You actually start off pretty powered up, and this game ratchets up the difficulty by throwing all that they can at you. There are a ton of on-screen baddies, and they require a lot of hits to take down. In true vertical scroller fashion, there are power icons which alternate between the kinds of weapons, and getting more of these is essential because it will level up your weapon. There's a spread gun, forward lasers, mega blast, and flamethrower, which has a really cool graphics effect that will cover the screen with a very short destructive blast and then taper down as the pressure decreases. There are some really cool particle effects, and you really need to upgrade the standard shot in order to stand a chance. Project S-11 really pushes the Game Boy Color hardware as far as it will go. Graphical feats are a visual treat for one of the later Game Boy Color games. The scrolling is smooth and the action is pretty intense, and the enemies covers the screen. There's a password continue for when you get to the next stage, but it keeps it action-packed. The music is really something else. The developers built a Game Boy music tool which takes it to a whole other level. The music tool that they made for this game would go on to power a ton of chip tunes and would later go on to fuel some really cool games for the Game Boy Color. Shantae is also powered by this very same tool. Project S-11 really pushes the Game Boy Color as far as it will go. It is an intense ride for a system that is not known for intense action games. Baby T-Rex. Speaking of ambitious games, Baby T-Rex is a platformer with a large animated main character who runs and jumps down treacherous terrain. He's so cool, he's practically prehistoric. It's obvious that they set out to make a Sonic the Hedgehog-like game, but on Game Boy. This really shouldn't be possible, but here we are. It's gonna be dino-mite. So, Baby T-Rex is quite literally a radical dude who first came to the scene in 1993 and then disappeared without so much of a trace. This game was released as We're Back, a Dinosaur Story reskin, but the actual game was released in Europe and Australia. A follow-up game, Radical Rex, was released on the Super NES, Sega CD, and Genesis. It is a deliberate throwback to the 90s extreme platformer through jungles, dungeons, caves, and towers. There's even a 2-player mode. However, this game is tough. Baby T-Rex takes full advantage of momentum and really has a sense of speed. However, the Game Boy architecture is really working hard to deliver it. Often the screen doesn't give you enough warning to see where you're going, and turning most jumps into a leap of faith. You'll need the reflexes of a velociraptor. Fact is, there's a really big character with a really big hitbox. There are some really tight platforming requirements that have you following to your death at the drop of a hat. The timer is also a challenge if you have to hit the jumps and move to the next part with split-second timing. The enemies are really hard to hit by throwing projectiles at them since they move at a downward arc. The platform jumping requirements requires you to be incredibly precise, but this is tough with momentum-based play physics. That being said, this is a very ambitious game that requires you to have the levels memorized to pull it off. There are some pretty dope skateboarding segments. That being said, Baby T-Rex is not without its charm. It is a very tough but really well done action game on the Game Boy platform, and it plays perfectly on the chromatic but will play on anything that plays Game Boy. It's Rexcellent! Hey, Hey, we make awesomes like this each week, so you absolutely should subscribe so you don't miss out, because there's a lot more awesome retro stuff coming your way. Also, give it a like and comment to let YouTube know that you like this kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. This is 8-Bit Joystick. Stay awesome. Play retro.